Hello, everybody. Welcome to the interview with PokeaimMD. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yo, what's up, guys? I got Pokeaim here, and I'm part of the WBE this season, so pretty excited to be here.
So, with the WBE, you have an excellent draft. You decided to pick Mega Glade as your Mega Pokemon.
Yeah, it was either between big shout out to Gypsy who helped me a lot, but it was between Mega Galade or Mega Lopunny because I knew I wasn't gonna get Pokemon like Coco, Celesteela Landers, being number 26 in a draft of 28. I was actually really surprised that Mega Galade fell to me, but very very happy. Like I wanted it early, so excited to use it because I feel like it's one of those Pokemon that can just you can EV it to do anything because it has such a high special defense stat and pretty decent defense stat too, just low HP.
So, you decided between Mega Glade and that, or Mega Glade or Lopunny.
Yeah.
So, I know you talk a lot about Aerodactyl. That wasn't on your radar.
Okay, Mega Aerodactyl. I love Mega Aero, and I got to use it in Let's Go, and it was broken. But and I really wanted to use it in this too, but because I had plans to use Crocodile as well, if possible, and I was pretty sure I'd get Crocodile as well because Crocodile's a tier 3, and this was round 1. So I focused on my tier 3 for the second time I came around right away. If I got Arrow, I'd probably either go for Gigalith / Hippo as at some point, and I didn't want to go for either of those. So I didn't get Arrow just for that reason because I felt like my ground type would be Croak no matter what.
All right. So, in previous drafts, do you have any sort of mentality into going towards your draft in terms of like a core? Like I know a lot of people like the Fairy Dragon Steel core, the Firewater Grass core. Is there anything that you like to go for in particular?
So not really in terms of cores. I mean, I think a lot of people know that I don't make very good drafts, I guess, but I always value a grounded poison type because not only I think T-Spike can be broken versus you, but also given the option of T-Spike, which a lot of grounded Pokemon, grounded poisons have. And I always think that having a ground type as well is just solid because I don't want to be volt switched on for the most part. So T-Spike's definitely, and I'm a big fan of overwhelming my opponent with hazards so much to the point that I usually neglect hazard control. But this time I kind of had to do it a little bit differently, picking up Volcarona later on, which is something on my radar. Funnily enough, I did want to get a Accelgor, which I know you wrote down there.
Is Volcarona tier 1?
Volcarona is tier 2.
Oh wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's actually a really nice tier 2. There's only one tier 1 on my team, and it was my last Pokemon that I picked the entire draft.
Yeah, I knew that you had to pick Gothitelle, but I didn't realize that tier 2.
Yeah,
that's a really solid pick for tier 2.
The reasoning behind it was basically it's a setup. Quiver I think is broken, right? And
yeah.
It's a setup mon that actually immediately threatens somebody with Z-moves. Whereas if you look at the rest of my team, Galade obviously can't run a Z-move. Crocodile maybe can make Z's work, but the rest of it doesn't really appreciate or have that immediate breaking power, I feel.
Yeah.
So that was like the idea behind Volcarona. If I didn't get Volk, I was even looking at like Staraptor. Just because I never used it, but I thought that, or at least in draft, I've used it before, but I thought that maybe clicking Banded Brave Bird would be fun, just picking up some KOs. But yeah, I liked Volk a lot for that reason. Being a tier 2, I had budgeted so I can pick up at least 2 tier 2s, maybe 3 if I didn't get a tier 1.
So back to your point of the Accelgor, I know that you really like that Pokemon.
Yes.
So what is your obsession with that Pokemon?
Okay, dude, spikes are broken. Fast spikes are even better. Pokemon that can get it up in a format like this one, especially this particular one with unlimited Z. Like I can use a Z move on anything. Accelgor has a great move pool, Bug Buzz. I compare it to Nihilego not in terms of move pool, but you know how you use Nihilego like way outside the box. But you could also have used like a standard Nihilego that was Scarf that could just sweep itself too. I feel like Accelgor is like that. It has the move pool to either be spiking or offensive. Baton Pass is allowed in this too, so I could have actually Agility Pass as well. There was like a lot of options that I thought that Pokemon brought, and having that specific speed tier like that's faster than base 80 Scarf, at least at level 100. I don't know about level 50. Was another plus that I liked as well.
Okay, so it looks like you don't have Baton Pass on your team.
I don't, bro, and I wanted it. Like I said, I really, really wanted it, but a lot of the Pokemon you see here, besides Gallade and Crocodile were sniped. And Piloswine too. Piloswine was not sniped. I actually picked up Piloswine super early as well because I think it was the best tier 5 in the entire list, and I picked them up like round 4, round 5, while everybody else was still picking up tier 2, tier 3s. Because I've always wanted to use that Pokemon as well. But yeah, no Baton Pass, unfortunately. I do have a lot of setup though. Swords Dance, Bulk Up, Calm Mind, Quiver Dance. So I like my options with my team.
Honestly, like I'm looking at your team, and like I've seen Crocodile, I've seen Bronzong, I've seen Volcarona, but like I've never really seen Breloom before. Like, I feel like that's a very like it's a really good Pokemon, but like I don't see people using that Pokemon in draft leagues that much.
The only time I ever fought Breloom was when it was in the GBA when I had Zygarde 50 and I believe it was Jolt. I was forgetting his name. Jolt used it versus me, a really defensive Breloom, and it reminded me of like in 5th gen when we used to use like Leech Seed Spore type of things, or even SD or Bulk Up. And I feel like Loom with Technician, like a big reason behind Loom was the priority, obviously, and a ground resist. And I say a ground resist as in because Zygarde 50% and Zygarde 10% are in this. So if you look at my team, it's not that I don't have options for it. I'm pretty sure none of my members are KO'd at all. But I wanted something that can actually at least deter them. And, priority Mach Punch is also super good too.
Yeah, it's so strong.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so back to previous draft leagues. So we all bring out some heat.
Yes.
So what is some of your favorite sets that you've brought? Like something that you're really, really proud of?
I really like Choice Scarf regular Diancie. Because my opponent had Sticky Web. So it actually with a Choice Scarf outsped, like his fastest Pokemon was Darmanitan. And Diancie, I mean, I only know the level 100 ones, but it's 218. So at 1.5, I'm faster than Darmanitan. So I had like a Choice Scarf regular Diancie that could still sweep my opponent even if they got up it because of Clear Body. Another one I liked was when I brought Hurricane Thunder mixed Gyarados versus Aaron in Rain, and it actually, all the techs hit. So I think those are my two favorite in terms of that.
Yeah, like the worst feeling is when you just bring heat sets and they just don't do anything.
Or like when a standard would actually have done fine.
Because then you just look like a fool.
I agree. I'm actually just looking at all my P4G sets right here. I had a lot of fun Pokemon. I feel like Diancie is a really underrated Pokemon in itself. The regular Diancie.
Yeah.
Like if it was actually an option for me, as well in terms of Fairy type, but like this entire draft, dude, having to wait basically 52 picks till your next turn is so tough. But that's why my strategy was take everything I wanted in the lower tiers, and then worry about tier 2 and tier 1 later. That's why I actually got a lot of Pokemon like Piloswine, Comfey, and Crocodile, which I don't think I would have made it if I got them later at all.
The Crocodile pick is key, but like at the same time it's risky because sometimes you just get the leftovers like the Gothitelle.
Exactly. But I basically when there had been like tier 1, there were 6 tier 1s at a point. It was Tyranitar, Dragonite, Como, Gothitelle, and there was like 2 more that I'm forgetting. But I basically was good with any of those tier 1s outside of Tyranitar, which I knew was getting picked up just based on a few teams that had like Sand Rush potential and whatnot. Yeah. So I would have been fine with any of those 2 dragons or Gothitelle. I thought that Gothitelle would be really fun too because I was at one point thinking about getting Goth plus Doug Trio if I wasn't able to get Breloom, and also Magnezone, so I can Magnet Pull, Arena Trap, and Shadow Tag and force Shed Shell. I have great knockoff users on my team, and also I think that if you're limited to Shed Shell, it just really sucks versus a team that has T-Spikes or like it's hard for you to switch into half my members, right? I think that Gallade is a big one. Well, not half. Like 2 or 3 of my numbers are really tough for you to switch into. The rest kind of just switch into your team. But
and then it lets you use the analytic Magnezone and the competitive.
Gothitelle. Nobody's using competitive Gothitelle, but
what's wrong with competitive Gothitelle? That's like 500 special attack right there.
So it's actually a legitimate option because it does give me. I have a few forms of. I've actually not too many forms of speed control, but Gothitelle gets Trick Room, which is pretty cool. And I have priority. I have triple priority on my team, and Yeah, so I might use competitive. Who knows? I don't think I ever will, but maybe in a Sticky Web matchup, that'd be fun. Though I don't think Sticky Web are that good versus me. I'm just gonna use my fat Pokemon.
But if they do use Sticky Web, that's
Yeah.
a +2 Gothitelle Trick Room action.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I feel like you can go.
Like your fastest Pokemon is Gallade. Are you worried about that?
Dude, every single time I draft something, somebody always tells me your fastest Pokemon hits 360 something speed. Man, I don't care. I don't care at all. What are you gonna try and overwhelm me with that I can't pick off with? Like the only Pokemon that actually scares me is Talonflame. I feel because fast bird priority and resistant to fairy and fighting is really scary. And also, I don't actually switch in that well to Talonflame. Period. It can't knock out anything besides, maybe a Volcarona and Breloom. I don't really get worried about speed control because I can mitigate that with double Trick Room. I just realized my Bronzong also has Trick Room. If I want to, and if I have a good enough matchup, I could probably just always go second and use like Baneful Bunker, Toxic Toxapex, and just recover every single turn. Like, I also think that Scarfers versus me, speaking of speed control, Scarfers versus me are a bad idea. Just because of the Gothitelle being able to basically effectively trap every Scarfer. Like I can just EV it. I can EV it. So
and the setup potential you have.
Exactly. Like I can use Gothitelle to help me Quiver Dance up or bulk up / SD. Like I did want Whimsicott, and Whimsicott was a fairy type I originally wanted, because it would give me defog, but also speed control and Tailwind. It's a mon that I've used multiple times in draft that I absolutely love every single time. I think it's a great value pick always, and I was really upset that it got picked up. But I'm happy about Comfy too, because I've used it in the MBL, which obviously isn't singles, but it has options. And I think that the priority on that thing is going to be saving me a lot of games. Like a lot of teams that I'm a little bit worried about, like priority Giga Drain just deals with everything.
Look at your team. I don't see Thunderwave.
Yeah, my Toxapex and Bronzong pick were originally supposed to be Thundurus and Metagross, but they both got sniped literally right before me. So I'm okay with my steel being Bronzong. I'm not a big fan of Bronzong RU, but I think in draft it's great. Trick Room options, Trick, Calm Mind, whatever, Defensive Wall, whatever it is. I always hate fighting it, and it has some solid abilities too. Not just obviously the ground immunity, but the heat proof too. I don't have Thunderwave at all, but I do have some ways of control. Actually, Gallade learns Thunderwave if I'm not mistaken. It does.
Yeah,
it does. But no, I'm not using that. Like
it's not like that wave.
Like my best form of like slowing my opponent down is probably going to be Spore from Breloom. That's about it.
You don't use Thunderwave to.
Yeah, I would never use Thunderwave Gallade. Get the hell out of here.
You don't use Thunderwave to slow people down.
You use them to full pair them.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather not pair my opponent, but kill them with like Toxic or whatnot.
So the last thing I want to talk about is hazard control.
Yes.
So when you go into a game, do you like to overwhelm your opponent with your own hazards, or do you like to keep that? I mean, obviously you can't do that with your team currently.
Yeah.
But if you didn't have a Volcarona, because when I played in the GBA last season, I had one defogger and I never clicked defog with it.
Yeah.
Because I had Spikes, Toxic Spikes, Stealth Rock, and Sticky Web.
Exactly.
And I would just like, if they want to do that against me, then
they're gonna take the pain too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, same mindset for me. I've always only had like one form of. This is actually probably my first time having two forms of hazard control. I've usually only had like defog Whimsicott or like a Claydol or something at one point.
Claydol is no Pokemon.
Yeah, Claydol is no Pokemon. Or like in the P4G, I had a solid team with Spikes, T-Spikes, and everything, and I had Bullaby as my hazard control. Like, I don't really care too much for hazard control because I feel like if you're spending time setting up hazards versus me versus a team with regen, I'm probably going to start picking up some KOs with Gallade at that point. Or like Comfy doesn't care about the hazards because Comfy will recover back up to full when it goes for attack. So I feel like I can take advantage of it. I definitely went with two forms of hazard control. Again, the big thing about Kabutops was not only giving me Rapid Spin, but giving me a flying resist that beats Talonflame, for instance. I think that Bronzong can do some fun things there. We'll see. But I wanted that, and Comfy obviously having defog was a big thing. It's not priority, but I feel like the triage ability is just good enough as well for the entire thing. I'm actually most excited though on my entire team to use Kabutops because I feel like with Z's and this Pokemon's actually really extensive move pool, it's going to be a lot of fun. Like I think it has. I think it's low key could be a threat, like a breaker. Not obviously to the point of Gallade, but with Z moves, I think it could be something.
Does it get cursed?
It no curse. It does.
PogChamp. Curse Aqua Jet.
Oh my god, that's fun. Okay, that could be fun. It gets rock polish too, and swords in, so
Curse and rock polish?
that's it. Just raise it and lower it.
That's all you need.
That's all I need. Oh, that's fire. I didn't even know it gets cursed. Now I know. Beautiful. Why is that not in reliable moves?
I think it's gold, silver, crystal, probably.
Yeah, but that means I just get it with what? Weak armor? Like, isn't that... Yeah, that makes sense why it's bad.
Yeah. Just curse and just lower defenses even more.
Hey, but I get my speed boost, bro.
Yeah,
Hey, actually, that's not terrible. That's not bad.
It's just a sword. It's like a dragon dance.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
While raising my... it's interesting.
It's like a dragon dance.
I might try it.
All right. Thank you for the interview.
Of course.
Shout out Bronx Beartics.
Hey, we're here. We are ready. We'll do our best this season, of course.
And that'll do it. Goodbye.
Bye.